CSS Profile. Hi there, my name is Maria Gurieva, I'm the founder of StudyAmerica, and we help international students from all over the world get accepted to top US universities. And in this video, I would like to describe the process of getting need-based financial aid in most US universities. And the key thing that you need to do is to fill the CSS profile. What is CSS Profile? How to file it? Everything about CSS Profile will be in this video. Stay tuned, let's go. CSS Profile is the important application that makes you qualified for financial aid, which is need-based financial aid. And need-based is about your financial situation. If you don't have enough money to pay for education, you will get financial aid from a university. And most top universities do provide financial aid, need-based financial aid for international students. But in order to see if you qualify, they want to see a CSS profile. CSS Profile is developed by College Board, and you might be already familiar with College Board because it does pretty important stuff. They have CSS Profile that you file. They also have a SAT test. College Board also organizes the SAT test, and also College Board has a great resource for choosing universities and also for learning about the process. It's a great website, does a lot of useful stuff. And CSS Profile is also on the College Board website. CSS Profile has questions about your family financial situation. So it's a great idea to fill it with your parents because you might find it really hard to fill it without them. To sit down with your parents, discuss the numbers, and the CSS Profile would ask a lot of questions about different aspects of your financial situation. They'll ask about all sources of income. They'll ask about expenses, your yearly expenses that you will need to count and put out there. They'll ask about your assets and a lot of other questions. For example, did you have a job as a student? Did you have any summer job? What kind of resources you have available and stuff like that. Also, if there are any changes in your financial situation, for example, the situation is different in the past than now, or it's about to change, somebody is about to lose a job or start getting pension, or there is another thing happening and going on and it can affect your financial situation, you also have space to provide those details in the CSS Profile. CSS Profile is a pretty long application. It has a lot of sections and you take those sections one by one. And one thing that I suggest you doing is that at first you download another application. So before CSS Profile, a lot of universities were accepting International Student Financial Aid application. It is also designed by College Board, and it's a PDF application that you just fill. And it is somewhat similar to CSS Profile. They're asking pretty much similar questions, but CSS Profile is much more detailed. But you can download International Student Financial Aid application, print it, and then sit down with your parents and actually think of numbers. I find that this makes your job much easier because when you're in CSS Profile and you don't have those numbers yet, you go through section to section, you click the button next. It's a little bit hard to return to the previous section, see what kind of numbers you had there and if everything adds up and stuff like that. I would suggest that you first download the International Student Financial Aid application, sit down with your parents and think of the numbers and count the numbers, the income within the last 3 years, the expenses that you had in the previous year, and all kinds of assets. You have all that information in that application. And then it would be much easier for you to transfer that data from your paper application to your CSS Profile. Of course, CSS Profile will have more questions, but the draft that you did with the PDF application will make your job much easier. Also, keep in mind that if the income of your family is more than $60,000, you are considered for limited financial aid. If it's less than $60,000, you're considered for full financial aid. And limited financial aid can include even the full cost of attendance, but do not include your room and board, your accommodation and your food. But it depends. It depends on the university and their funds. But it's important to keep in mind those numbers. If it's less than $60,000, you are qualifying for the full cost of attendance, including even food and accommodation. If your income is in the bracket, your family income is in the bracket from $60,000 a year to $120,000 a year, then you qualify for limited financial aid, which can be up to full cost of studies. And if the income of the family is more than $120,000 a year, although some universities already making it a little bit bigger and talking about $140,000 a year, then you might not be considered for financial aid at all. So keep in mind those numbers, and if you qualify, of course, fill the CSS profile and definitely apply for financial aid. If you want to study in the United States and get financial aid and also get accepted to a top US university, a university of your dream, then definitely check out my free masterclass where I talk about all the steps necessary to take in order to get into the university of your dream and studying there for free and getting that full financial aid. I'll talk about all the steps you need to take, all the tactics and tricks, my own method of applying and getting accepted, the method that helped a lot of my students and myself to get accepted to top US universities. Sign up right now. A lot of questions that I get from students is what to do if parents are divorced. And if parents are divorced and they have separate families, and you need to choose a parent with whom you live, and this is the parent of the head of your household, the head of the household where you live. And you fill the application, the CSS profile, with that parent and only consider the numbers in your household. And then you need to ask that other parent who doesn't live with you anymore to also fill CSS profile. And it would be a non-custodial CSS profile. And then this parent also needs to share all the financial information about his household or her household. And also sometimes it happens then there's no contact with the other parent, lost touch or anything like that. There is no way to find this person and ask them to fill the CSS profile. Then there is a non-custodial waiver that you can fill, describe the situation, and then you're only applying with your household CSS profile and with the parent with whom you are in touch and with whom you live. So these are different nuances about filling the CSS profile. After you've filled the CSS profile, you also need to pay. You need to pay to ask for money, logical, and you need to pay for every university where you sent that CSS profile to. You can ask universities for a promo code, kind of a promo code, and some universities do have those promo codes to distribute, so you can ask if they have any, and if they do, they can provide you the code. You type that code in the CSS profile, and then to this university you can send your CSS profile for free. If they don't have promo codes, or if they don't reply or anything like that, then you have to pay for sending your application. I think if you're saying that you make quite some money, then it would be a little bit weird to ask for a promo code. But if your income of your family is below $60,000 and you struggle with the money and you want to get the full financial aid, then it might be completely okay to ask for a promo code, and who knows, maybe you can get all those promo codes and save money. After you send that CSS profile to universities, they give you an access to another service, which is called IDOC. And IDOC is a service where you provide supporting documents. And the supporting documents might include your tax return, of course in English, or instead of tax return, sometimes you can just provide the salary statement from the employer. And also you need to provide the bank statement with the balance, the current balance on your account. And the information has to support what you wrote in the application. And after you provided those documents, you sign everything, you send all of that, you're done with applying to financial aid. It's of course extremely important to know the deadlines, and in different universities the deadlines can be extremely different, and sometimes they have priority deadlines which might be even earlier than your application deadline, and you need to send everything before that priority deadline in order to be considered. So keep in mind all of this, and definitely the first thing you do when you just create your list of colleges is you take note about their deadlines, and it's really useful to have some sort of a table, put all that information down and really take care of your deadlines so that you do not miss your opportunities to get financial aid. Thank you so much for watching, and if you like this video, please press the like button and and share your comments, share your thoughts. And do not forget to subscribe to my channel because I post a lot of very useful videos about different aspects of the application process. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in my next videos and in my free masterclass. Bye bye!